Who's ready for some yummy chicken spaghetti? I will teach you all how to make this yummy chicken spaghetti. This is a recipe much more tastier than a couple chicken breasts and some spaghetti noodles and sauce thrown together. It's a little time consuming, but it's well worth it. Many years ago, I lived in North Dakota, and a neighbor invited me over for dinner one night. When I walked in her house, the air was filled with this heavenly aroma. As we sat down, my taste buds were on overload. I knew I just had to have this recipe, and she was so kind to share it with me. So who's ready to learn how to make yummy chicken spaghetti? I can see your mouths watering already, and I look forward to hearing from you what you might add or subtract from this recipe to make it your own. My husband is a man with a picky palate. However, this is his favorite recipe. My children, on the other hand, think it's a little spicy. But like I said, this is a recipe that you can add and subtract to make it your own unique recipe and still have that great homemade flavor taste. In the next few minutes, I will teach you how to make this recipe. Let's look at what ingredients we'll need first. We'll need 1 whole chicken. We'll need 2 14.5 ounce cans of Italian flavored tomatoes, 8 ounce cans of tomato sauce, 1 10 ounce can of Rotel. I like to use the mild kind. 1 medium onion, white or yellow. 1 green bell pepper. 1 8 ounce package of sliced mushrooms. 2 to 3 cloves of garlic. You'll need a couple tablespoons of olive oil, and also a 16 ounce package of spaghetti noodles. Some salt and pepper or some grated cheese is optional for the end. Now that we've got all our ingredients together, let's start making this yummy chicken spaghetti. We want to start with our chicken. You want to unwrap it, rinse it off under the sink, go ahead and pat it dry. Make sure you take out any gizzards or neck that might be stuffed in there. We don't need those. Go ahead and discard them. Get you out a stock pot, fill it with water, add your chicken, bring that to a boil. You want to let that boil for about 2 hours is what I usually do. You want to make sure the internal temperature of the breast gets to 165 degrees. At that time your chicken is done, so we want to go ahead and get a strainer in the sink and drain it. Go ahead and leave your chicken in your strainer to let it cool some. Next, we want to go ahead and get out our bell pepper, our onion, and our mushrooms. Start by dicing up the onions and the bell pepper. Open your mushrooms and go ahead and wipe any dirt off that might be on them. Go ahead and set this mixture to the side. Now it's time to get out your 12-inch skillet. Place it on your stove over a medium heat. We want to go ahead and put in your 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Heat that a little bit, Once that's come to a heat, go ahead and add in your onions, your bell peppers, and your mushrooms. Get them sauteing. Then go ahead and get your 2 to 3 cloves of garlic, mince them, put it in with the onions, the bell peppers, in the pan. Go ahead and get that going. At that time, when your onions become translucent, it's time to go ahead and add your can of Rotel. Let that simmer now for about 10 minutes. And while that's simmering, we're going to get back to our chicken. It's time to debone it. Go ahead and take all the meat off the bone, throw your bones and skin away, and get your chicken ready to put together in the pan with the sauteed mixture. You want to go ahead and stir that chicken meat in there, and while that's coming to you want to simmer for about 10 minutes so the flavors can all come together. This is a good time to go ahead and open your other ingredients, your other cans. Get them open. After about 10 minutes of simmering on the stove, go ahead and add in those other cans of ingredients. Give it a good stir and let that simmer for about 20 minutes. And this is a good time to go ahead and prepare our spaghetti noodles. You want to get you out a stock pot, fill it about 3/4 full with water, and once it comes to a boil, go ahead and add in your spaghetti noodles. Now you want to stir them up, let them cook for about 10 to 11 minutes, depending on how you like the texture of your noodles. Once your noodles are done to the right texture that you like them, go ahead and drain them in the strainer in the sink, and then return the noodles back into the pan that you had them boiling in. So it's time to go ahead and bring our chicken mixture together with our noodles. And in order to do that, we can do that in two different ways. Some people like to take their noodles separate and then top off the noodles with the chicken tomato mixture on top. However, what I like to do is I like to go ahead and pour my meat and sauce mixture right on top of my noodles in that pan, in that pot, and stir them together. And I let that sit for about 10 minutes so the pasta can take in the juices from the tomatoes and chicken. As you can see, this recipe is a little time consuming, but it's got your mouth watering, doesn't it? I hope this outline has given you all the details that you need so that you could prepare this recipe at home. It is one that my neighbor shared with me many years ago, and I'm glad I can share it with you. It's my husband's favorite recipe, as I shared earlier, and I hope it becomes a favorite in your house. My purpose was to teach you how to put a different spin on chicken spaghetti. And whether it's a little time consuming, I know it's well worth it. And I hope you think so too. So please take the time to enjoy a plate of chicken spaghetti and give me some feedback of what you would like to take from this recipe or add to it to make it unique for you. By taking the time to prepare this recipe lined out as I've given you here today, I hope it will fill your house with that heavenly aroma just like it does for me every time I make it. So here's that plate again of chicken spaghetti. I want you to get a good look at it. Grab a fork and dig on in. Thank you.